I actually find the Special Budgets Committee's current silence and inability to enter the debate puzzling. Because actually, if you read their own reports, there is evidence of EC spending money in 2016 and 2018 in those reports. So the Special Budget Committee knows that the current system that we have, the technology system we have, does not date from 2011. They have allowed the EC to continue to make those claims because practically the way that they act is not through public advocacy, right? They act when the EC appears before them and they issue a set of recommendations. I have challenges with their recommendations, but there's not a forum to air those grievances. What I will say though is this: from their reports, the transparency that that mechanism enables has helped us to come to the conclusion that the EC's claim that the system is obsolete because it dates from 2011 can't be true. Because we've seen evidence in those reports that shows that they've been refurbishing. Go to page 9 of the Special Budget reports, Special Budget Committee's report for 2018, usually released in 2019, and find out both page 8 and 9 in fact, and find out if you will not see evidence of the EC telling them that in 2016 they refurbished as many as 7,500 BVRs. Then cross-check that with the Auditor General's report of the same period to see how much that must have cost. Then ask yourself a simple question. If in 2016 you spent millions of dollars to refurbish the machines, how can you in a public advocacy campaign tell everybody that the machines date from 2011? You see what I mean? So I'm saying that the Special Budget Committee itself has questions to answer.
Okay. Can you take it up as well? Because it's here. It's here. The evidence. Yes. The evidence is there. So okay.
My name is Parker Wilson.
Parker.
You have established here now that there has been some procurement breaches, and of course rigging the tender process to suit one vendor. As a CSO, are you willing to push it further by probably petitioning the president, because we know that Madame Jimenez's predecessor was dismissed because of procurement breaches? Is IMANI willing to petition the president to look into this matter of the new voters register?
I mean, typically when you petition the president in that matter, you are seeking to remove the head of the institution. And typically the president's job is simply to convey the petition to the Chief Justice, who must set up a committee and the likes of it. That is not where we best serve society. Everybody must determine where they best serve society. Your job as media is to be interested in one thing above everything else: the truth. The truth above everything else. Our job as civil society is to be interested in one thing above everything else: enlightenment. Our goal is that as a center for public education, by the time we are through, every single person who genuinely wants to understand this matter understands it. We are serving that cause. What we certainly are considering is the Public Procurement Authority, because in my view, they become so lax that too much is going on, that as an organization, as an agency of the state, they need to be able to put their feet to the ground and assert their authority. So we'll consider petitioning them.
So you want them to investigate this?
Absolutely. The PPA must definitely investigate this.
Okay.
But they have also approved certain things, so we have a fight with them as well. We will get with them on both fronts.
Okay, your question, please.
Thank you very much. I'm Lansan Musa.
Yes. Thank you.
Just a quick follow-up on the issue of the Special Budget Committee.
Yes.
Would you say partisanship is clouding our sense of reasoning with regard to this issue?
Yes. The Special Budget Committee is certainly a creature of our multi-party politics. And there are people that are on that committee that are NDC and some that are MPP. So it's true that it's not always easy for them to build consensus on matters, and in that case, the lowest common denominator will win, because controversial matters will polarize them. But it's also true that in this country, we know we have a parliamentary system where members of parliament frequently sit on boards. Members of parliament are often serving on technical advisory committees. Members of parliament are often pushing for public-private partnerships that benefit particular companies, etc., etc. So there's a feature of our parliamentary system where the parliamentary core itself sometimes is not fit for purpose. You get my point? Because when you have a situation where you are a member of parliament, but you are sitting on a corporate board or you are sitting on an agency board, then you are accomplishing the decisions they take. How can you exercise true judgment? That notwithstanding, my view is that the partisanship does corrupt the ability to build truly effective consensus. Because otherwise, anything that's controversial polarizes them. But I think we should ask fundamental questions about the parliamentary process itself in this country. Whether you can continue to have MPs, continue to sit on boards and agency boards, continue to be active in pursuing, so that they are their own lobbyists. They are lobbying their own institutions, etc. Typically, you expect that MPs should be lobbied. So we have issues there as well. But that is not the purpose of this conversation. So I'll leave it at, yes, partisanship is an issue, but there's a bigger problem with the way the parliament itself behaves.